Ship registration is also known as flagging a ship, and this is required under the regulations of the International Maritime Organization. So all ships, every ship, big ships, small ships, whatever ships, need to be registered in a country of the ship owner's choice. This becomes the ship's flag state. And when she's in port, she will fly the flag of the country at the stern. Now, the port of registry, in other words, usually a major port in the country of registry, the port of registry will be shown on the stern just below her name, but it will also be shown on the lifeboats and on life rings aboard the ship. So a ship registered in Britain, for example, will have a British port of registry, such as Felixstowe. Felixstowe is a huge container port on the east coast of Britain. Or it could be London, or Southampton, or Liverpool, or any other British port. And that port will be displayed on the stern. And when that ship is in Cape Town, or any other port for that matter, she will fly the British flag at the stern. Now, many ship owners choose to register their ships in their own country, but increasingly ship owners are registering their ships in another country, and this process is called flagging out. So flagging out is flagging your ship in a country that is not your own. So for example, a German owner may choose to register his ship in the Marshall Islands. Where's that? It's a small island group in the northwestern part of the Pacific Ocean. And in that case, where a German ship owner has registered his ship in the Marshall Islands becomes that ship's flag state. If a ship has been flagged out, the term flag of convenience is given to the country in which she's been registered. Flag of convenience, because it's convenient for the owner to register his ship there. An example, let's take our German ship owner. He registers his ship in Marshall Islands. Marshall Islands, apart from being the flag state, Marshall Islands is also a flag of convenience. It's convenient for the owner to register his ship in Marshall Islands. So therefore, Marshall Islands becomes the flag of convenience for that owner. A ship registered in Marshall Islands will have the main port's name on the stern, and in this case it's Majuro. Now, over time, some countries have become major flags of convenience. In other words, many owners choose to flag their ships there. And number one on the list is Panama. Where's Panama? Well, it's a small country in Central America and has the Panama Canal running through it, and ships registered there bear the name Panama on the stern. Another flag of convenience is Liberia in West Africa. Monrovia is the main port there, and so therefore a Liberian ship will bear the name Monrovia on the stern. We've mentioned Marshall Islands, with Majuro as being the major port, and therefore Marshall Islands registered vessels will have the name Majuro on the stern. And another little island, Cyprus, in the northeastern part of the Mediterranean, will also be regarded as a flag of convenience, and any ship registered there is likely to have the port Limassol on the stern, Limassol being one of the major ports in Cyprus. Singapore is also regarded as a flag of convenience these days, and so many ship owners choose Singapore. And of course, Singapore is a city-state. In other words, it's a city as well as a state, and therefore the name Singapore is on the stern of the ship for ships registered there. And yet another little island in the Mediterranean, Malta, has become a flag of convenience. And Malta has its major port, Valletta, and therefore ships registered in Malta will show the port Valletta below the name on the stern. And there are other major flags of convenience, but those are just some examples of countries where ship owners register their ships for convenience sake. Now, why do ship owners register their ships somewhere else? There are many reasons. The first one is very simple. The registration fees in that country may be lower than in the ship owner's own country. So the fees in Marshall Islands might be lower than, say, in Germany. There might be tax benefits for an owner registering his ship in a flag of convenience country, and therefore he is taxed to a lesser extent than if he registered the ship in his own country. And sometimes banks are more likely to grant loans to ship owners registering in particular countries than if the ship owner registered that ship in his own country. Now, there might be political reasons for a ship owner wanting to register his ship under a flag of convenience. For example, an Israeli owner may not wish to flag his ship in Israel, as the ship may incur difficulties in going to some other countries, and therefore he will choose to register his ship in a neutral country, a flag of convenience country like Panama or Liberia or Malta or wherever. A ship owner may want to trade to countries where it will be beneficial for him if the ship has been flagged in a particular country. And a classic example of this is if a ship owner wishes to move cargo between South American ports, he must register his ship in one of those South American countries. Therefore, that South American country becomes a flag of convenience. The ship owner may wish to use cheaper foreign crews rather than crews from his own country. If we take our German owner, for example, he may choose to flag his ship out so that he can employ less expensive crews. So he can employ from any country if the ship is flagged out. Had he flagged his ship in Germany, he would have had to employ German crews, who generally will be more expensive than crews from Asia or Eastern Europe. Now let's take a South African example. The Durban-based Grindrod Group has got a number of bulk carriers and tankers, but they have flagged most of those ships in Singapore or in Britain. Now, both of these countries are renowned for insisting on high standards of ship maintenance, proper training of crew members, and strict surveys of ships on the register. But for purely commercial reasons, Grindrod has moved to the British Register or the Singaporean Register for its ships. Purely commercial reasons. In other words, it makes more financial sense to register there than in South Africa. Now, in recent years, the concept of flags of convenience has attracted much unfair and negative attention. Some believe that ship owners use a flag of convenience to avoid strict maritime control in their own countries, or so they can exploit cheaper crews. But we must remember that most ship owners are responsible people, and they view their ships and crews as valuable assets, and will do everything they can to maintain and operate their vessels well, and to ensure that the crews are happy on board. So, good, responsible ship owners would not use a flag of convenience for a negative reason. It's usually for financial reasons that they do it. So flagging or ship registration is an important aspect in the shipping world. And for ship owners, it provides a measure of protection under international law.